Welcome to the Kelly File. And the big story tonight, everyone, the president working a series of West Coast fundraisers while a growing number of Democrats are now sending warnings to the White House. With just days to go before a key deadline, they are prepared to break ranks over Obamacare. Good evening, everyone. I'm Megyn Kelly. Earlier today, we got the latest in a series of polls now showing plunging political fortunes for the Obama administration. A CNN poll shows 53% of the country now does not trust our president. 53%. The first time since Mr. Obama took office that this poll shows a clear majority does not believe that he is either honest or trustworthy. And it comes at a critical time for his presidency. The next big Obamacare deadline is just 5 days from now. That is when the administration promised to have healthcare.gov working. And if it is not working, reports tonight suggest that vulnerable Democrats are prepared to turn their backs on the White House and even go on the attack. Mark Thiessen is a fellow at the American Enterprise Institute and a former speechwriter for President George W. Bush. Mark, good to see you. And so this report in Politico spells it out. They spoke with several Democrats. They talk about how they're angry, some of them, and how they've had it. They say a week after the October shutdown, Democrats were experiencing a euphoric high. This is a New Republic headline that puts it even worse about how the entire law is threatening liberalism. In any event, they go on and say, we thought we had Republicans. We thought we were going to win back the House, and then the rollout fails, and now we're concerned we're going to be kicked out of our seats. And they are prepared, apparently, Mark, to start joining Republicans in these oversight committee hearings aggressively, to start openly pushing back on the law and its mandates and its deadlines. Where is this going to go from here?
Well, they're watching the same polls that you cited, and they're seeing that the president is not just being questioned for his competence. He's being questioned for his honesty. That is a devastating thing. The American people increasingly believe that the president, and by extension his party in Congress, lied to them. I mean, you know who's vulnerable in this election coming up? Every single Democrat who said, if you like your plan, you can keep your plan. And they're all on record, they're all on video having said it, and guess what? It's every vulnerable Democrat. There's a video of that that's going to be played in every election showing them saying, if you like your plan, you can keep your plan. And that's going to be devastating to them in the elections. And they're trapped. They don't know how to get out of it.
What a difference now, because, I mean, this Politico article spells out how these Democrats are getting ready to break ranks. And they've about had it. They're not so satisfied by Joe Biden's, it's going to be working, God willing, assurance. And now they're getting ready to not necessarily put on Republican team jerseys, but according to the article, they're predicting that the next oversight hearings that are coming up in December are going to get, quote, ugly, and that the discussions, that the White House has been having with them have not quelled the fears at all, that when the White House told them when they all went up to Capitol Hill, we're going to get the website working, it's going to work out, there was open eye rolling, because it's not just the American people who think the president is dishonest, Mark. It's the Democrats, too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about it. It's 3 strikes and you're out. The first strike was saying, if you like your plan, you can keep your plan, which we now know he never intended to keep that promise. Second strike was going out to the American people and saying, I've got a fix. Except he didn't have the authority to do the fix, and so millions of people are losing their plans anyway. The website is the third strike. Now, if the website doesn't work, then he said the vast majority of Americans, that website's going to work. Most people think vast majority, that's like 95, 98% of people. No, they just said, they rolled it back and said, well, that means if 80% works. So 20% of Americans are not going to get that promise kept for them. This is this kind of stuff over and over again. They keep violating the first rule of holes, which is when you're in one, stop digging. They keep making promises they can't keep instead of going down and saying, we're going to fix this problem. Here's how we're going to do it. It's going to take time. It's worse than we thought. But we're going to get down and roll up our sleeves and fix it.
You pointed out yourself that, put the website aside for a second, that there's only so much they can say about the law itself, because even even the New York Times is now acknowledging the whole law is a redistribution scheme. It is meant to take from some people and give to others. And even the New York Times is using terms like, as a result of this law, there are going to be, quote, losers.
Yeah, because what the whole plan was, I mean, what everybody's outraged about is what the plan was, which is for people to be pushed out of their health care plans in the individual market and into Obamacare involuntarily. And so these people are what everybody's angry about is what the entire intention of Obamacare was.
Because it's exactly the opposite of what they were told.
Yes, which is the opposite of what they're told. They are mad because they feel they were lied to because they were lied to. And so there's no way you can fix that with words. You have to fix it with policy. You have to change something. And these Democrats are in a really tough position, Megyn, because they're damned if they do and they're damned if they don't. We're hearing these reports they're going to go after the president. You know, I was in the White House in 2006 when George W. Bush was president, and he was toxic, and the Democrats took over Congress. And if these Democrats if they distance themselves too much from the president, they alienate the liberal base, which still loves him, and they need those people to turn out.
Yeah, but there's so much on the line right now, Mark. There's so much on the line. I mean, we put up this headline when you were in the first answer because we pulled it from the New Republic. Okay, the New Republic. This is a left-leaning publication. Look at the headline: Obamacare's threat to liberalism. I mean, it goes beyond Obamacare. And let me just read the viewers one excerpt, okay, from this article. Liberalism has spent the better part of the past century attempting to prove that it could confidently and responsibly extend the state into new reaches of American life. With the rollout of this law, the administration has badly injured that cause. It has stifled bad news, fudged promises. It has failed to translate complex policy into plain English. It can't even launch a damn website, quoting them. What's more, nobody responsible for the debacle has lost a job or suffered a demotion. Over time, the technical difficulties can be repaired. Reversing the initial impressions of government ineptitude won't be so easy. That's the liberals talking.
Yep. But that's the problem, okay? So they don't care about Obama's legacy. They don't care about these vulnerable Democrats. What they care about is liberalism and the survival of liberalism. This is the liberal project writ large. And if it fails, if Obamacare fails, then the liberal project fails and is discredited for a generation. So all the congressional Democrats and Senate Democrats who are vulnerable, they want fixes. They want Obama to allow people to stay in their plans. And the liberals don't want that. They want to push these people out of their plans. That's why all the blue states are rejecting the fix. California, 1.1 million people lost their plans. 80,000 signed up. They're not letting them keep their plans because the left doesn't want to jeopardize Obamacare. So there's this counter pressure where on the congressional Democrats want Obama to back down, and the left doesn't want him to back down, and that's what the fight is going on within the Democratic Party.
It's a broken promise either way. Either you can't keep your policy as he promised, or you can keep it, and the premiums are going to skyrocket on the exchange, and it could potentially be the beginning of the death spiral. We heard that from the architect of Obamacare himself. Mark, thank you.
Thank you.